Hello everybody and welcome back to another edition of the Overdrive Files. Hope you're all having a good weekend. It's Sunday here where I am. Hope you're staying safe, all that stuff in these crazy times. But in the world of DC, there are some updates to sort of get into. First of all, Zack Snyder shared some more images via his Vero account. Now, one of these is a storyboard he shared back a little while ago. I think maybe a month or two back at this point. And he revealed that Martian Manhunter, I know you can't really see it here, but there's Martian Manhunter there. And then he revealed a couple other photos of Martha Kent and Lois Lane. And it's these characters in this scene here talking. And it turns out Martha in this scene is actually Martian Manhunter, who AKA is General Swanwick in these DC films. So here you have Lois Lane, obviously in the foreground. Here you have Martha Kent talking, and I'm not sure at what point in the film this is taking place. There's been some photos that have come out comparing, obviously, possibly this scene from the theatrical cut to the Snyder cut, and there's definitely a tonal shift. I don't remember if this was, I know there's that scene in Justice League where Martha Kent visits Lois at the Daily Planet, but I don't necessarily remember this scene taking place at Lois's apartment, which this sort of looks like, if I had to take a guess. But yeah, it's just there's so much more on the table when it comes to the Snyder cut, and including Martian Manhunter. And I think this might be one of the scenes that Zack needs to do additional photography for. And obviously there's CGI involved when you have a character like Martian Manhunter. I doubt they would go the full prosthetic route with this type of character. I think they would really do it CGI, and I think it'd probably look pretty awesome, especially with Harry Lennox. But yeah, really cool. There's just more on the table than a lot of people even realize. So it's really something special. But yeah, just nice to see more and more stuff coming out. But also on the Titans side of things, I know some people aren't really a fan of this show, and I'm still sort of mixed on it. I just started season 2. I'm literally like one episode in on season 2. But I wasn't the biggest fan of season 1. I thought the first episode where it showed Dick Grayson's fight sequence in the alley, I thought that was some of the best like comic book fight sequence stuff we've ever gotten. I thought that was really phenomenal. I think I even have a review on this channel of that pilot episode, but I thought that was really well done. But for the rest of the season, I thought it was just kind of mixed. But it's been announced that Barbara Gordon is coming into season 3. Now, I don't know if this is going to be just Barbara Gordon herself. Is it going to be Batgirl? Is it going to be Oracle? I'm not sure what route they're going to be going, but either way, it's really interesting. I doubt, it's hard to gauge where they're going to go with this show. The tone it's a little bit darker and than I would prefer, especially with the swearing and stuff. I feel like it's just trying to be dark and gritty for the sake of dark and gritty. Almost like shock value in a way. It's almost like recent Star Trek where they're like dropping F-bombs, and it's just kind of stuff that's sort of unnecessary. But all the action sequences in these episodes are really good. I find the acting is pretty good too. It's not like watching the CW or anything like that. So I will give it that credit, but I'm just not really sure where they're going to go with Barbara Gordon. I'd like to see a live action like Oracle. I think that could be really interesting, where she's, down in like, I don't know if they would do the Batcave or some other like headquarters where she's like the the computer sort of detective, doing all that stuff. I think that could be interesting, but I'm just not sure what they're going to do as far as like a Batgirl or an Oracle. But either way, I'm looking forward to this. This makes me look more forward to season 3, but I will eventually get through season 2 of Titans, whether it pains me or not. But also another interesting thing, this weekend was supposed to be the release of the Cyborg movie starring Ray Fisher. What a bummer, man. Announced in 2014, 6 years later. And it has not come out. I doubt it will at this point, but who knows? Maybe Cyborg will pop up in the Flash movie, which has been, I think, delayed yet again. I think it's supposed to come out at like 2022 at this point now. So fingers crossed that movie actually gets a release. But such a shame for Cyborg, man. This character is one of the true hearts of the theatrical cut of Justice League. Like, regardless of what you think about the movie, the Justice League movie, I thought Ray Fisher's Cyborg was one of the shining moments of that. And it's just a shame that this guy did not get his own movie. And, it was even announced 6 years ago. And the funny thing is here, and I want to get into a little bit about it, but right here, this is from Screen Rant. But despite announcing Cyborg in 2014, Warner Brothers and DC never showed any real effort to get the film ready for a 2020 release date. With the release date 6 years away, there was no need to rush development on Cyborg, but it is the one film that the studios completely forgot about. In 2017, Fisher said that the movie was still on track to be released in 2020, despite the film not having a writer or director attached. Of the 10 films that were announced in 2014, Cyborg is the only one that never hired a writer or director. Such a shame, man. And Ray Fisher was phenomenal as Cyborg in Justice League. I just thought the guy just brought some like gravitas and heart and emotion to the character, and this like duality of now being this cyborg and what it still means to be sort of like human at the same time. I just thought it was really well done, and it's just a crying shame that this guy never got his own movie. I mean, even Ben Affleck's Batman, I think that was more his choice to step away, but it's just a really sad thing that this guy never got his own movie, or that we might not even see him in another movie, even just as like a supporting role. But this also gets into, out of every movie that was part of the original announcement, it is unknown why Cyborg is the project that Warner Brothers and DC never got off the ground after all this time. One potential factor not in the character's favor is the budget needed to do Cyborg justice on the big screen. Since his entire suit is CGI, a Cyborg movie would be costly, and the studios may have ultimately decided that it was too risky to see if the film could turn a profit. It's a shame, though, as Fisher clearly had a lot of ideas of what a solo Cyborg movie could look like. Over the years, Fisher has suggested the film could be an origin story or use scrapped parts of Justice League. But he also wanted the story to be personal and intimate. The disappointment of a Cyborg movie not happening as planned will especially be felt by those who saw him as a bright spot in an otherwise uneven Justice League film. At this point, there's no clear direction for what Cyborg's future on the big screen holds. It's possible he could still be involved in the Flash movie, there we have that, if that is part of a new director Andy Muschietti's vision, but the likelihood of him getting a solo film at this stage or before he makes another appearance elsewhere seems slim. That said, if studios still believe Cyborg isn't ready to carry his own film, perhaps making a Titans movie with Cyborg, Nightwing, Starfire, and others could be the smart move and keep Fisher around. Maybe then a Cyborg movie could happen at a later date. Well, after the original plan for a 2020 release. That's also another thing, is that Cyborg is never really a Justice League member. Cyborg is a Teen Titans character. Obviously, in the DC universe type of things, I think Cyborg made his debut in Titans season 1, or maybe it was season 2. Well, I don't think it was season 2 because I already watched season 1, not season 2. But he's in Doom Patrol. He's a character in Doom Patrol. So he's not even on the Titans DC universe show. But yeah, so it's just a real bummer. I would love to see Ray Fisher get kind of a moment to have his own film. I get it. It's probably going to cost $200 million. But at the same time, I think having an African-American superhero movie in the DC side of things I think a lot of people would love that. And I don't want to say this character is like the version of Black Panther. I don't think that's necessarily the same type of case, but I think there would be a lot of people interested in seeing a Cyborg movie. And I think it's just an interesting character. It's like Terminator, but with a human brain and heart, I guess. I don't know. It's just a little bit more emotional than a movie like Terminator. Not saying that like the action and stuff would be the same, but I think there is a demographic of fans and people out there that want to see a Cyborg movie, regardless if they even really know much about the character. But Ray Fisher also did go on his Twitch channel. He live streams video games and stuff like that, but he did like a really long Q&A session just talking to the fans, and this was sort of a social media movement to sort of give recognition and thanks to Ray Fisher and let Warner Brothers know that there's still a majority of fans that want to see a Cyborg standalone movie. And he went on his Twitch account and thanked the fans and did a Q&A session, just allowing people to ask about Justice League and his character and how he went about meeting Zack Snyder, and if he saw the Snyder cut, which he said he hadn't, but he knows people who have. So yeah, just a really good, humble guy, and it's just unfortunate that this character kind of got the shaft. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm Rex Overdrive. I'll see you next time.